And here we are in the finals of the BSL tournament. In the top left corner, the blue Terran OntheAtack. In the top right corner, the purple Protoss Shaky. And both these players have earned their spot, defeating Yatko, the Diamond 2 Zerg player. An upset in both cases. Both these players are Platinum 2. They've shown their scrappy. They've shown their tenacity so far in the BSL, and they're looking to bring back the first ever BSL tournament trophy. And that $50 cash bonus, that's got to be good incentive for these players. But most of all, it's not the money. It's about making history. It's about the accolades of being the first ever BSL champion. You see here, Shaky always busy with the probe. Getting right in on the Attack's grill, taking the gas. OntheAtack tries to catch the probe out, but only the shield has been taken out so far. He's just trying to discombobulate OntheAtack. We see here a bit of a chrono being wasted by Shaky. He's gone gas. One gas. And then he's gone into gate, side core. This probe's still being chased around. It's locked in the Terran's base. Eventually it'll be taken out. Orbital command now should start up for OntheAtack. Tad late. But nothing huge. So what will the strategy be for these two players? Both players off camera have told me that they have trouble in PvT or TVP respectively in this on the ladder rather. So no player's at a huge advantage. And it's anybody's series here. OntheAtack coming in here with the Reaper, switching up his play a little bit, looking to discombobulate Shaky. A probe gets taken out. I like this. He's putting on the pressure right from the get-go. Can Shaky chrono boost out this Stalker? Yes, he's got chrono energy. I would definitely recommend that. But actually, he has a Stalker here already. My fault. Not so urgent. And as long as Atack can discombobulate Shaky with this Reaper, while still macroing sufficiently at home, should work out well for him. He's got to make sure to macro well behind this. So far, it looks not bad. Both players bringing their A games. OntheAtack getting a second barracks now. He's got a factory up. We know that patented siege tank is going to start at any moment. Shaky late taking his second gas, putting a Twilight and another gateway behind. So this is 3 gateway Twilight so far. The Reaper keeping tabs on Shaky's third base. Although it's there very early, maybe it's just resting out there. Basically an active scout for OntheAtack. Shaky pulling ahead in the probes. He's been chronoing out decent amount. But with mules, it's really not bad for OntheAtack, although he should make sure that his natural is saturated before rallying his main command center to his natural, or rather make sure his main is saturated before rallying out. The Marines pushing out onto the map now. Trying to catch that probe, but Shaky did a good job of pulling it back. Both players have made scouting a priority, and it's working out well so far. It's a pretty even matchup. 3 Stalkers on the field for Shaky. He loves his Stalker play. And we'll see if he starts up Blink soon. He's got his Robo Bay down. We know he likes going Colossus in this matchup. Shaky gets a Warp Prism. That's pretty interesting. We haven't seen a Warp Prism out of Shaky so far in this matchup. So he could be looking to warp some zealots or something into the main of OntheAtack. Or maybe he just wants a warp prism for faster reinforcements in this stalker move out. But OntheAtack, he's got a good defense. Tank is set up. Marines are there covering it. Second tank on the high ground. So I don't think Shaky can get too much done with these stalkers. The Reaper here did not shut down the probe from planting the Nexus. Stalkers are moving in. Oh, they're looking for a shot on the tank, but it just gives away a stalker there. And now they're focusing down the Marauder. That was decent micro from Shaky. The focus fire was there. But I'm not sure about wandering into the tank line like that. Now, OntheAtack looks to get a full scout off. Third base is down for the Protoss player. And now he's actually has to pull probes. And OntheAtack wasn't looking. Oh, but he killed the probe in time to remove the surround. And this is a huge distraction here mid-game for Shaky. OntheAtack really flustering him here. It looks like OntheAtack has had the better of these exchanges so far. The units lost tab. 500 for Shaky, 125 for OntheAtack. 225 now that the Reaper's been taken out, but definitely got value with the Reaper there. And we see Chrono Energy stockpiling for Shaky. But look, he blinks over the cliff. And look, he's trying to focus down that tank. The Stalker blinks out. Nice job. But not too much damage was done. But look at this. I mean, does Shaky even need to do damage? We don't see a third base out of OntheAtack. And even though he's been getting slightly the better end of these exchanges, he's got no third base on the horizon, and I'm worried about ATAC because of this. Shaky, his macro really picks up on 3 base. And look at this double armory engineering bay for OntheAtack. He's not even thinking about a third base here. Actually, an orbital does go down. Let's keep the production tab out to better track where these players are going. So OntheAtack, he's getting it ready, but it's late. And we see the batteries here and the cannons protecting that third for Shaky. The units. 7 more probes than SCVs. Shaky just staying home for now. A little bit of Warp Prism harass here. He's going behind the mineral line with these stalkers. Does he get a second SCV? No, he doesn't. And I'm not sure about sending stalkers in red out there. Just get a couple of SCVs. It's better to keep the stalkers, especially 8 minutes into the game. You're really not hurting your opponent's economy too much. But I think he just wants to fluster down ATAC. The Warp Prison is still there. Charge on the way for Shaky. Armor 1. Armor 1 also on the way for Dan ATAC. 2 more Vikings, and he just wants to get rid of this Warp Prison. Should drop out the Stalker if he can. Yep. Nice micro. But that third is not even up yet for OntheAtack. I mean, he's putting a 4th now. But what I mean by up is it's not on location. And look at this, the pylon block coming here from Shaky. He's been very good throughout the BSL, blocking potential third bases, or even naturals early in the game if he can. The gas is getting taken now. On that third base, we got double robo for Shaky. He knows OntheAtack likes that tank marine. He wants double robo for possibly Colossi starting up. Yep, the robo bay is chronoing out Thermal Lance. And we have 1 Colossus being built. And if Shaky can get a handful of Colossus out on the build, ATAC is really going to be in a hurting. But ATAC is also getting Vikings on the field. That'll help him against the Colossus. A good amount of tanks as well. And OntheAtack actually has the stronger army here. Before the second is even on location for OntheAtack, Shaky's taking a 4th. But Shaky's got to be careful that his army can actually hold a possible move out by ATAC. And to be honest, seeing how these players are expanding and how Shaky is just way out expanding OntheAtack, Seeing all this information and seeing this army advantage for ATAC makes me believe he should push out now. But easier said than done. And easier said when you see all of the information. OntheAtack doesn't really know where Shaky's army's at right now. He doesn't really know that he has this big advantage. Or respectable advantage. Now I think Shaky could hold theoretically with this army. But it'll be tough for him. He has to execute well. OntheAtack did scan the army, and after seeing that, he's decided to move across the map. Maybe thinking the time has come. Shaky putting a huge warping of zealots here. And this looks like a big fight's going to break loose. Shaky coming from the back. Oh no. Walked into some tanks. The pylon gets taken out. And he's backing up there. That was a bit dicey. He could have actually taken out that tank. But he was a bit flustered and caught off guard, and OntheAtack was on the other side of the shrubs with Viking vision. So those Vikings are critical when shrubs are nearby. But I imagine OntheAtack is going to want to siege up those tanks to this third base location. But he doesn't want to take too long doing it, because the longer that he does it, the longer Shaky is going to macro up. And we see now Shaky actually has an army that's caught up in size with OntheAtack. And ATAC, I've played with him a bit on teams on the ladder, and he has a habit of doing this sometimes. He gets into a containing position, and he just kind of idles. And really, he should be putting pressure on Shaky with tanks being sieged up, sieging that third base. Now look at the Zealot gets in here and almost kills a tank, because the tanks weren't even sieged up all that time. Not even one of them was. So he should have done this way quicker. He's given Shaky time to set up a two-prong angle assault and even more of a warp-in, and now we see the supplies are really weighing towards Shaky. I feel like this is taking too long for OntheAtack, and as long as the Protoss has two angles to crush this, it could work. And here we go, Shaky's coming in from both angles. Will the tanks be able to hold for OntheAtack? The Colossi coming in from both angles. The tanks are down, they're shredding this bio. Oh my god. Auto turrets being thrown down for OntheAtack. What a flank by Shaky. Completely crushed this. That was amazing Starcraft from Shaky. Some action going on here. We have actually even had a Zealot warp in. Killed this SCV, making this factory, and I'm not sure how many SCVs it got here, but this mineral line looks pretty vacant. And Shaky's in a commanding position. Not only did he hold on to his third base, not only is his fourth base saturated, but he completely shut down that attack from OntheAtack. And like I was saying, ATAC just took too long to actually siege that Nexus. It seemed like those tanks were sitting there idle for a good 30 seconds. And while that went by, Shaky's supply just shot straight up. He already had a 4-base economy. He already had the pylons down. So at that point, it was just a matter of building it. Building the troops. He had decent infrastructure. Let's see how many gateways he's got here. He's got a good 7 gateways. Could actually use a couple more now. But that's neither here nor there. Shaky's looking for the death blow. Archons, Zealots, Colossus, one Immortal. Barreling in here to the third base of OntheAtack. And OntheAtack just has a bit of bio and a handful of Vikings. It's not going to last against this army. And Shaky moving in here triumphantly. The Stalkers making sure the Colossus do not get shot down by the Vikings. Micros the Colossus back. The Stalkers take out the Vikings. And Shaky, look at his vision across the map. He's got pylons everywhere in the map. I'm really impressed by his play. Colossus picking off a few stray Marines. The AI just wandered into them. And Shaky has complete map control and vision. And really, he can just F2 into OntheAtack here. ATAC is crippled. He doesn't have much of an army. And wisely again, Shaky looking to hit from both angles again. He doesn't want to, he's not getting too cocky. He's still keeping the fundamentals in play. It'd be so easy to just F2 in there from one side thinking you have enough, and he probably does, but he doesn't want to leave any stone unturned. The Colossi shooting the Marines. Tanks are getting some good volleys in. That Immortal's just shooting the factory, but it doesn't even matter. GG is called. Shaky wins game 1.